Look, we're stuck in the system, we can't get out. It's time for a change, stop running your mouth. I'm looking for words, but I can't get it out. Look for the light, but the sun blotted out.
Hold on, let me hop on the beat. Cause social injustice and prisoner mindset is something we gotta defeat. We idle these hoes and wear all these clothes with shoes that can't be creased. Steady looking for substance and change, but we searching all up in these streets.
Got a stain on my shirt that I can't get out. My people on high like the top of the mount. We thirsting for truth, but there's no spout. Look for a savior, but no one around.
But no one's around, but where do they look? It ain't in the church, it ain't in the book. We can't get a job, so we rather crook. They got us in chains, a fish on a hook.
Look, harvesting not bodies, harvesting not organs. Got them real big mad, cause they culture boring. Pimping the poor, Jim Crow at the door. Selling our souls, our daughters a whore. I wanna give in, can't take it no more. Don't wanna believe our people are more.
We swept our cart when we look at decline. We got a new bottle, it's filled with...
Hello. Welcome to another MACM podcast, where here we cover everything from intense social topics to funny social trends. I am your host, Mark Jonathan, and G will be tapping in very soon. But just to start off with a brief disclaimer, everything that we say here in MACM does not have anything to do with actual MACM. This is just our podcast. We are the experts in most of the scenarios that we talk about. So it's just dialogue. Please do not hold it against Make a Chess Move organization. With that being said, let's go ahead and tap into this episode. So to start off, we got a 1-year-old being shot. And this story was very tragic. Just even typing up, he was actually shot in the head, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to go ahead and tap into... Oh, sorry, let me pull it up. Go ahead and tap into this. Oof. Boom. All right. So 1-year-old black boy shot in the head by Houston police while pursuing a robbery suspect. You see this adorable little baby. Unfortunate situation. So Legend Smalls, a 1-year-old black boy from Houston, Texas, was shot in the head by a police officer who was reportedly chasing a suspect. His mother, 19-year-old Deja Smalls, is seeking justice as he fights for his life. So shot in the head at 1 year old. That's, man. All right, so the incident happened on March 3rd when Smalls stopped at a Chevron to pump gas. She said her son was buckled in his car seat. I'm assuming that's it. At the back, and she was in the front seat when a man holding a gun suddenly went up to her car and forced her to get out. She refused to give up her car, yelling to the man that her baby was still in the back. She then heard police cars approaching, followed by gunshots. Before I knew what was happening, they were already shooting at the car, and I was just scared for my son's life. So the suspect, identified as 33-year-old Broderick Woods, was linked to at least 2 robberies. He was fleeing from the police who chased him up to the gas station when he tried to carjack Small's car. A police officer identified as Garza fired several shots at Small's car, killing Woods at the scene and also hitting the baby boy at the back seat. Man. He was placed on paid administrative duty as an investigation on the shooting is still ongoing. Man, okay, so Houston Police Chief Art Acevedo, said in a statement that the officer fired his gun when Woods refused to heed their demand to drop the weapon because he feared for the mother's safety. Meanwhile, Legend is still in intensive care at the hospital. Doctors said that they'll need to wait and see if he can recover. The bullet has been removed from his head as well as part of his skull, but there are remaining fragments. He had more than just 10 seizures so far. Man. I read one part of a GoFundMe page has been set up on behalf of the family and has already raised more than $45,000. Okay. So, man, that's a lot going on. That's a lot going on. What's up, G?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Sorry, y'all. I'm late. I try to beat traffic. I beat GPS though. I beat the GPS ETA. Man,
It's
how are
so
you? How are
good.
you?
Hey, I can't complain. How about yourself?
I'm all right. Can't complain. I made it. I'm here.
That's good. But just to start off, let me just give you a brief little recap. A 1-year-old boy was just shot on March 3rd in the head by police officers. The police officers were chasing after a robbery suspect, but they killed the person that was robbing the stores or whatever at the scene. But this baby was in the back of his car seat, or the back of the car in his car seat, and he was shot by the police officers attempting to shoot at the robbery suspect in
Wait,
Houston,
wait,
Texas.
wait. Okay, so let me. Where was the parents of the baby?
She was getting carjacked actually. So let me just pull this up for you one more time. So the robbery suspect was trying to carjack her, and
Okay,
she's screaming at the robber like, "Nah, my baby's
okay. So
inside."
she was getting carjacked, and her baby was in the back seat in his car seat.
And
Wow, and
then
the police
police,
shot the baby.
yeah, police approached the car, telling him to stop the vehicle. He refused, obviously trying to get away from the cops. And then they just opened fire. And it said, before I knew what was happening, they were already shooting at my car, and I was just scared for my son's life.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and then, this is more information on the suspect, the police officer who shot. And then here's how the baby is doing. Meanwhile, Legend is still in intensive care at the hospital. Doctors said they'll need to wait and see if he can recover. The bullet has been removed from his head, as well as part of his skull, but there are still remaining fragments. He has had more than 10 seizures so far.
Wow. I pray that the
Yeah,
baby survives this. If he does, it'll be such a amazing living testimony. But man, police, y'all see what y'all be doing? This is the stuff. This in no way, shape, or form is this protecting and serving.
mm,
In no way is that like, oh wow.
it was definitely crazy when I was
I
reading it
can't
this
even
morning.
imagine the pain that mother is in right now, or all the things that's going through her head. Like, oh my gosh, that is so crazy. Mm,
Absolutely.
mm.
And it's literally just like a wrong place, wrong time type of situation because she was just trying to get or pump gas into her car. The robbery suspect comes
Wow.
out, asks her to give up her vehicle. She like, nah, because her baby's inside, obviously. And
Right.
then police open fire.
Police just open fire. Like, what crazy thing is this kills me. Like, when I'm watching movies and stuff, when a car is getting away and somebody is shooting at the car, the first thing that always pops into my head is shoot at the wheel. Shoot the tires. If you pop the tire, you can't go far. A car cannot go far with a busted tire. It just can't. And so aiming anywhere else is just nonsense to me. It makes no sense. But that's I feel for, oh my gosh, my
And the
heart goes
officer
out.
is on paid administrative leave.
Of course. Of course.
Just thought I'd
Of,
throw that out there.
of course, the officer is on paid administrative leave. Wow. Oh my goodness. I'm suing. I am.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
suing. I'm
absolutely.
I'm definitely suing. Like, what? I'm suing for all types of things. I'm emotional pain. Yeah, every single hospital bill that comes from this. I'm suing for.
Mhm.
I'm suing for um futuristic PTSD that my son is gonna experience. I'm suing for the mental health issues that my son is gonna experience. I'm suing for at least 18 years worth of stuff because the baby's only one. So this baby has to literally go through his entire adolescence
If he makes it.
if he makes it with brain trauma. That's pure brain trauma. Like that. Wow. I believe, even, I don't know. I pray that the young mother is a God-fearing woman because, that's just, I pray the baby survives. Of course it's all up to God. But man, that I couldn't even imagine, Mark. I could not even imagine. Oh my goodness. Wow.
It's crazy for sure. But to relieve some of this, because I know that was kind of a first hit. It was a hit for me even typing it.
That was a blow. Hell yeah, that was a blow. Like,
whoa. But we're going to go ahead and jump into the greatest financial myth. And I heard this on Charlemagne's podcast. And it was a real interesting point that the dude that's speaking made. And I mean, we'll go ahead and hear it out. But it definitely gave me something to think about. We're going to jump right into it.
My last question is, what are the greatest financial myths we've been taught in the Black community?
The greatest financial myth, I think, is that the harder you work, that's going to lead to success. And it's like, shout out to my bro, Wall Street Trap. He said something that was so profound to me. It's like, coming from working class environments, we all know people that work 2 jobs. Pretty common, right? Even 3 jobs, sometimes overnight shifts. And you really think about it, I never met one person that worked 2 jobs that had more money than somebody that worked 1 job. I never met one person that worked 2 jobs that had money. They still broke. And it's like, the reason is because you're trading your time for money, and that's not really how to get money. You got to have your money work for you. Like, and that's the greatest myth I think that we've been taught is like, money doesn't grow on trees. You got to work hard. But
that's it. It's
really crazy because it's like, nah, not really. Your money has to work hard for you, because the harder you work for money, you're just going to burn yourself out, and you're still going to be broke at the end of the day. So like, I had a friend of mine, I'll never forget. And he was like, this was like 10 years ago, and he's older than me, but he was like probably 30 at the time. And he was like, I wish I would have been a firefighter. And no disrespect, I love firefighters, or, we come from blue class working environments. But the point is, I'm like, why are you going to be a firefighter? Like, it's a dangerous job. He's like, just do a quick 30 years, you get your pension, you retire. And I'm thinking to myself, like, quick 30, that's your life. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's how we taught, like, just work a job just to get a pension. But it's like, it's so crazy, because it's like, if you put $6,000 into a Roth IRA for your child at 14 years old, right? And let's say it grows 12%. By the time they're 60 at retirement, there'll be $1.1 million in it. So you could literally make your child a millionaire with $6,000. And now people is literally trading their whole life to get a pension, to retire. You could set your child up for $6,000 when they're 14, have 1.1 million. Like, don't even worry about your retirement. It's already there. Focus on what you want to do in life. How many of us gave up our whole dreams, our whole life to have a pension, to have some security, and we still don't have security? So for me, that's the greatest myth.
I think mine's the same along those lines. It was like every, especially from a West Indian standpoint, my parents are Jamaican. It was like, save your money, save your money, save your money, put it in the bank, save your money, until you grow and realize, like, the people that you're telling us to save the money with aren't doing that at all.
They invest in your money.
They invest in your money, right? So if you ever try to go to the bank and say, hey, I need 20,000, they're gonna tell you, hey, we need, you got to give us a 2-day warning. We need to know that you're coming to get that type of capital. And it was like, wait, if I have 20,000 in my account, why can't I get it out? It's because they're using the money to invest, right? They're making interest on it.
Yes, indeed.
That's real. That's real. I agree with that 100%. A job is, being just over broke. JOB, being just over broke. Poor is passing over opportunities regularly. And you have to have a system, and a system is save yourself some time, money, and energy. So, or save yourself some time, energy, and money. We are taught find a job or career path is going to get us that 401k so that we can retire by 65 and live our life. And when you look at it, you pay attention to them old people that work at Walmart and stuff and stand at the door to check your receipts and stuff. It's because they ran out of retirement money, not because they're bored and don't have anything else to do and they want to do. It's because they ran out of retirement money and still need money to survive. And that shit is so real, and with banks, like really all you need in life is a checking account so that you can pay your bills and this, that, and the third, but you don't need a savings account because you put your money into the bank and they invest it. And if I walk into the bank and I give the bank 10K to put into my account, they're not going to just hold that 10K for me to come back and get it. If I put my 10K in and Mark goes in behind me and says, I need a loan for 10K, they're going to loan Mark my 10K that I just put into the bank and charge him an interest rate and only give me like a 0.5 percentage of the 6 to 8% interest that they charge Mark. And it's like, my financial advisory business that I'm part of, we teach people how to bypass the middleman and bank where the bankers bank so you can invest your own money and have your money have that interest rate at the same interest rate that the banks use, because they're investing your money, and that's what we're not taught to do. Mm-hmm. That's what we are not taught to do in the Black community, is invest our money and raise our own capital. When you put your money into the bank and you need to go and use some of it, if it's over a certain amount, it's considered a loan. You have to fill out an application to borrow your money. I don't like banks. I prefer I prefer the Nike shoebox bank or mattress type. You feel me? Because the bank, even if my money is growing, as I say, it grows at a very small percentage rate. Mm-hmm. Very small. So. And it's so much that goes into that, but he hit home with that. Like we are taught to get a job or career path that's going to get us that pension, that 401k, that it's supposed to set us up for life, but it doesn't. And it's proof that it doesn't because you look at the elders in the community who work at Sam's, Walmart, whatever grocery store that they work at, and stand at the door to greet you and say hello or check your receipt. They're not doing that because they're bored. If I'm retired and I'm bored and I don't have nothing else to do, I'm going to get my ass on a plane or a boat and go travel somewhere. I'm not going to go work at Walmart and greet Walmart customers. Walmart customers are rude. I'm not gonna do that for no. So that's real, and we need to unlearn that and reteach investing in the Black community.
Absolutely. I mean, and I think really like the biggest thing that he said was like make your, like when you're trading out your time for your money, like we won't get our time back, which is probably like the biggest piece of that. Like we need to learn how to make our money work for us so that we have that time to do some of the stuff that you was talking about, the the traveling, the doing stuff when you're bored. But we can't do that because we're wasting our 30 years for a pension.
Making somebody else rich. At that point, it's like you get paid a small percentage to make somebody else rich. Have most jobs that people work, most of them, they never even get to meet the CEO of the company that they work for. That's not the type of life that I want to live. If I can't know the CEO, I don't want to work there. I don't, because I'm not comfortable with making somebody else rich on the sweat of my back. Yeah. It's like when people work a job, you're doing all the heavy work for somebody else to make leverage residual income. That's what we need to be teaching in the Black community, is how to make leverage residual income, making money in your sleep. That's what leverage residual income is. Making money in your
Absolutely.
sleep, making money that does not require your time, energy, or effort. It's money that just rolls in, and it's more ways to do it besides stock trading or forex. I know that's the first thing people think about when we talk about making money in your sleep is trading or forex. There's more ways to make money in your sleep besides that. We need to diligently teach Black people how to make that leverage residual income. Quit working
Facts.
jobs. Quit making white people rich.
Absolutely. But just so I make sure we have enough time for our discussion, we could cover everything else later. We got the big piece, right? So I was thinking about this topic not too long ago, and it was the discussion being married versus just having children, right? And basically, my whole pattern behind this is I feel like it's a lot more scary or scarier, however you want to put it, to be married than it is to have children nowadays. How you feel about that statement just off the rip?
I think it's scarier to have children without being married, because when you're looking at our generation of people who all have kids but ain't none of them married,
Mm-hmm.
it's scary because that's when multiple baby moms and multiple baby dads come into the picture. That's when that brokenness, that broken ties and stuff comes into the picture. And so I think being married takes away some of that. I mean, it's supposed to take away some of that fear. Being married is supposed to take away the fear of worrying about are you the father? Like, being married, you
Right.
should not even worry about that. It's like, I am the dad. Who else is gonna be the damn daddy? It's me. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
me. I am. Being married is supposed to, you feel me, solidify that. Being married is also supposed to take away the fear of STD and AIDS and all of that. You shouldn't have that fear. And when you're married, you shouldn't have to worry about any of those things when you're married, because it's just you and your partner. But not being married, especially with having kids, it's that financial stability. It's like it's kind of gone, because, and my great grandfather used to always say, and my mom reiterates it all the time, is mama's baby, daddy's maybe. Yes, it takes two to tangle, but we see it all the time. The men don't have to stay. But
Right.
where is the mom gonna go? That's your baby. You carried it, you birthed it. That is your baby, 100%. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. I encourage all dudes, when you're not married, to get in DNA tests. I don't care how long you've been dating somebody or none of that. I encourage all dudes to get a DNA test, because you don't want to be put in a situation where, like in Life Song, hypothetically, and Shorty says 4 years ago when we got into an argument, he came to comfort me and I wound up pregnant, and I can't just say for sure if the baby's yours. That's some scary shit. That's some
Absolutely.
scary shit for a man to be raising a baby that he assumes is his, he thinks is his, but come to find out, what Kanye West saying on his 18th birthday, I found out he wasn't mine. As a man, I'm gonna have to air this bitch out. I am. I'm because you mean to tell me I just raised a child for 18 years and this is not my kid?
Nah, I feel you. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel uh like you brought up a lot of points specifically about marriage, that like what it's supposed to do. What I'm kind of getting at is like them obligations and things that come with marriage are a lot scarier to deal with than just laying down and having somebody's
Now
baby,
that,
especially
okay.
in today's culture. You feel what I'm saying? Because I
So
agree with you
yes, and that
completely.
I agree. I would,
Exactly. It's a
that
lot
I
scarier.
agree, because it's our generation is afraid of commitment. afraid of change. You know, with marriage, you have to be comfortable with change because you guys are going to change together. Like, and at the beginning of Wale song Matrimony, he has dude talking at the beginning or whatever, and he asks, Wale asks dude, like, so even if you prepare, like, you think you're never ready for marriage, and he's like, no, there's no way you could be ready for marriage because it's a change. You're gonna change, your partner's gonna change, y'all are going to change together. You're changing from becoming one individual to merging with another person and becoming one entity. You feel me? Like, y'all are now one whole, supposed to be one whole together. And that is scarier than just because, like, marriage is, for me, marriage is supposed to be forever. Ain't no divorcing, ain't no none of that. If I marry
That's
you,
another fear.
we're in this together. And you know, I've listened to, you know, like someone, like, you know, celebrities and stuff, and one interview a while ago, right, Jada, for Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith or whatever, Jada, you know, says, you know, I told this man when we first got married that there is no divorce, that we're not getting divorced. It's not gonna happen. If we ever come to a point in time where we just no longer connect and no longer have that type of tie, then you could go to your wing of the house and I'm gonna go to my wing of the house, and that'll be that. But to divorce you, nigga, you're mine.
I feel that, and that's definitely another fear that, I mean, me personally have, is like that whole divorce and like disloyalty thing.
If I get married and I get divorced, I will never get married again.
Or like even being married, like really like giving your vows, committing to somebody, and then them cheating on you. Man, I could never, bruh. But we gonna jump into this video, and this is a Kevin Samuels. You know, Tabs used to be on that Kevin Samuels, but he was really speaking to these women, and I just want to hear definitely your perspective on it, and then we gonna dialogue about it.
25 or 26 got married at 27. The problem is 1 in 4 black women will get married, and it's because you guys delay getting married for this bullshit experience. You basically want to spend your 20s partying, turning up, riding the cock carousel, going down the DR, and then be an alpha widow, and then think you're gonna find some sucker that's gonna be $100,000+ earner and go pay all the bills. And no, I'm sorry, ma'am. Our forebears did it right. They got married because the more relationships you get on you, the more damage and trauma you get.
I agree.
And you bring all that to another person. And that's why I asked you, what are you gaining? And you said, well, just experience. It don't sound like it better to have 5 years experience in a marriage than 5 years of bad, broken relationships.
I agree with that. But you also can't get married just to get married. You gotta be married for different reasons. Like, you gotta marry.
Where's your father?
My father's around.
Oh dang! Excuse us. We do not endorse.
Yeah, we do not endorse any.
And I can't even skip it. They
points and cash back. U.S. Bank has the cards that make every
crazy. They does, man. YouTube will do you dirty.
I ain't gonna lie to you. He's slightly around. Like, he's not around. Like, my father.
But the point is, like most black folks, we did not see healthy relationships modeled. We saw women having to make ends meet.
We agree. I agree with that. No, because a lot of black women around us, they have that type of situation.
So let me ask you, let's say you just think I'm full of shit. That's what I'm talking about. You get out here and you're making average money like most people do, and you turn around and you're 30 years old. And then you look and you see some of the women you went to college with, and they've been married 3 years on their second baby, driving their BMW, planning their trip to Aruba with their family. And every morning you got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to fight traffic, to commute, to drive to work, to pay the lights, because you ain't gonna ever be rich. You got to wash, rinse, repeat, and you go from 30 to 31, 31 to 32, on and on and on. You look up and you're 40 years old, and all you got is bills, experience, and nothing to show for it. Why are you in college in the first place? Is it do you want a career or do you want a life?
Also want
A life is with people. As simple as that. So many young ladies think because you didn't see a father in the household that men are just there for sex and finance. And men serve such a more important role. And by the time you young ladies figure it out, it's too late. You've either, no offense, ma'am, you've either aged out or you may have already had some things happen in life to where the kind of men you want are like, then you got a lower caliber.
And then I end that there. And I couldn't find the video where he addresses men specifically, but he pretty much said kind of on along the same things, like with men being bums, not really doing nothing for themselves, that type of stuff. But I feel like he brought up a lot of interesting points as far as
He did.
I know a lot of females that, oh, I'm gonna just wait till I'm 30 to try to get married, this, that, and the third. And that's definitely how I thought too. Like, I don't plan on being married for a minute. It's more so to like the generation that we living in now, because man, I feel like we got a lot of growing up to do just to make it simple. But yeah, I mean, he brought up a lot of valid points, but how you feel about that as a woman, since it was more directed
He
towards
brought up a lot of good points. I like when he say, what are you in college for, like a life or a career? And she said a life, like you don't have to go to college. And I think that's something also that is toxic for our culture, is that forcing college upon our youth. College is not for everybody, and you do not have to have college is not the only path to success.
Mhm.
Period. You know what I mean? I'll leave that at that. College is just not the only path to success, and I think it's toxic that that's kind of what we teach in the culture. But for me, he was saying, what he was getting at is that in the Black community, a lot of us did not see healthy Black marriages, relationships, or couples growing up, and I for one did not. I don't even have any in my direct family to say either. Like my great grandparents on my mom's dad's side, they both died when I was young. My grandfather, I was 6. My grandmother, when I was 8. When I was 7. So and they were the only married couple that I saw on my mom's dad's side of the family. And then on my mom's side of the family, ain't none of them married. My great grandmother has 7 kids, 7 children, 6 girls and 1 son. None of them married right now, currently. You know what I mean? Now, not to say that they haven't been before, but right now, currently, to see healthy relationships on that side, I damn for sure didn't see any. All I saw was strong Black women making ends meet and getting shit done. That's all I saw on my mom's side, right? And then from my dad's side, my dad's mom, my granny, was married, and that's the only relationship that I can say really on that side of the family too was my granny and her husband. So, and then my parents divorced, and being in the home witnessing that relationship, it was not a healthy Black relationship to learn from. It wasn't. And that relationship between my parents is what made me not believe in love, not want to get married, and all of that. So I agree with him 100% when he says, we didn't have those examples, which makes it hard for us to even see it for ourselves. If you don't see those examples, it's hard for you to even envision a life like that for yourself if you don't see it. So I agree with him a lot on that. But I kind of, where I disagree with him at is that, being married and having kids is what gives you a life. I don't think so. I think I can still have a life and live without being married and having kids. I can still, he's talking about that commute to, working every day. Currently right now for myself, I work for MACM and I work for myself. I'm 22 years old. I don't work for nobody. So it's all, definitely about you. And I don't plan on ever working for nobody ever again. You feel me? COVID showed me like I'm not finna be nobody's employee. So that touches differently because my commute is from my bed to the bathroom to shower and back to my bedroom or my dining room, wherever I choose to do my workout for the day is at home. And then I drive over. I work for myself. It's a great feeling, and then Big Sean says, married in our 20s, where's the fun in that? I don't think you should get married in your 20s. One, because you're still learning yourself and you're finding yourself. Not your early 20s. Not your early 20s. You feel me? I'd say, before 25, like you shouldn't be married before 25. You're still learning yourself. You're still learning, trying to figure out who you are. Women hit maturity peak at age 21. Men hit maturity peak at age 25. I don't want to marry a little boy, right? When I get married, I want to marry a man. A man, you feel me? And men hit maturity peak at 25. So before 25, where I'm still trying to figure out who I am and you're still trying to figure out who you are, why the hell do we need to get married if we're still trying to figure out who we are? Because once I figure out who I am, I might not like you. I might have liked you when you were trying to figure out who you are, but once you figure out who you are, we might not agree and have the same views, and we might be two completely different people. But while we were in that space of trying to figure out who we are, we were trying to figure out some of the same things. So it seemed like we had similarities between each other, but really we were figuring out that we have more differences than similarities. So we can't get married while we're still trying to figure out who the hell we are. That's my opinion. And if I do get married, it's not a goal for me. It's not a plan for me. It's something that if God says it's going to happen to me, then it's going to happen and it'll happen. But it's not something I'm seeking or looking for. But if it does happen to me, I'm good after age 25. After 25, I don't want it before 25. I feel like you should use your 20s, especially your early 20s, to party and have fun and make experience and stories. You're supposed to. If you look at life and if life goes accordingly to how it should be, you should not have even tasted, and in the state of America, you should not have even tasted a sip of alcohol before 21.
Yeah.
So if you're living your life right in America, you should be drinking and partying and having all that fun from 21 to 25, because you can't even legally buy a drink until you're 21. Most of us are partying from 14 to 18 when we get into high school, and by the time we're 21, don't even want to party no more. That's why they want to get married and have babies and have kids, right?
Yes.
That, and you get grown out of partying. You should grow out of partying. If you don't grow out of partying, something's wrong. But technically, we're not even supposed to start until we graduate high school, when all of us, the mass majority, 98% of us, are starting the party life in high school. I mean, we start drinking, we start smoking, some start doing other hard drugs, you feel me? Shrooms, ecstasy, acid, pills, lean, all of that stuff. It didn't start with us after graduation. We was doing that shit in high school, in class, on school campus. So if we're living our lives right, you should be using your early 20s to party. And that's in my opinion.
Okay, see, I somewhat agree with you, but even like looking at like in the old days, right? Like my great, I believe it's only two grades. Yeah, my great grandparents got married at 19, I believe.
Early.
You feel me? And then they were able to stay married until they, passed away. Like when I just think about that, like that leads me to believe that this generation is doing something entirely wrong. Maybe it is the partying and all of that, doing it early and stuff. But I mean, I feel like one of the valid points that he brought up is, would you rather have 5 years in a marriage or 5 years of dealing with trauma?
Relationships,
You
yeah.
feel me?
And
Going through relationships and stuff.
That was a good
And
point too. The difference between, our great great grandparents, you feel me, our great great ancestors or whatever, who and our generation, just the older generation period is that structure. You know that structure, and that's
absolutely.
stability. We don't have a structure, and we damn for sure don't have stability, right? I would say like
Like,
our great great grandparents was probably that last stable era of really being married and staying together for such a long period of time. Like
like the
they
60s and
they were
70s.
that example, but it didn't carry through because the examples that
Absolutely.
came from it were so you think, so our great great grandparents, right? The crack epidemic hit our parents or
Hmm.
our grandparents.
Hmm.
Okay. So that changed the game entirely too. Like drugs really changed it. The crack epidemic took away that structure. Took away the structure that our black homes are supposed to have. And taking away the structure takes away the stability, because now we don't have the structure. Now we don't have men in the home. So now there's no stability because there's no
I
man in the
agree.
home. There's no man in the home. So now all we're seeing is black women making ends meet. That's all we're seeing is black women making ends meet. We're seeing black men be killed and killing each other and going to jail for drugs, right? Being drug lords
Hmm.
and kingpins and this, that, and the third, and gang bangers and all of this. So that structure and stability has been like wiped out almost completely. And that's what we have to get back to if we want to, because with like our great grandparents, even dating was different. You courted a lady. You
Absolutely.
you took your ass to her front door and asked permission from her parents or her grandparents, whoever was raising her, to date her. And so just dating, and we the people don't even date anymore. Like, and that's what's crazy. Like I tell dudes all the time, the movies is not a date to me. I don't care. I don't care if we're going to the movie tavern where they sell food and liquor. The movies is
I'm
not.
with you.
I can't get to know you. I get to know what type of movies you like, but we can do that later down the line. You know how many movies there are out here in the world? We can watch movies forever. But a date, take me somewhere where I can get to know you. Let's go to dinner. And we can sit down face to face and we could talk, right? Let's go somewhere adventurous and fun. Let's go bowling. Let's go skating.
It's
Let's
my favorite thing to do.
walk in the damn park. Like something, but somewhere where we can actually get to know each other. People don't do group dates anymore. Like that used to be real heavy and prevalent too. You feel me? In order for teenagers to date, it was group dating. And they went out at a respectable time.
Nah, I feel you, but I don't feel like I feel like uh I don't know, like in order to get through that structure, I don't feel like it's spending them years just going through traumas, because that's really all it is. Because no matter what, like you going eventually try to fall for somebody, even if that's not the intentions, it's gonna be one side or the other. You're gonna be wondering why you're feeling this type of way and the other person is not. And I feel like I'd rather go through that with one person than multiple. You feel me? It's like the 5 years of trauma. And I agree with you. We definitely didn't see it, but I don't feel like the way to get back to that
Now
is
that
to waste the 20s and all that.
and that part is true, because don't nobody want to go through years and years and years of trauma. Right?
It's,
Like
yeah.
nobody wants to go through years and years and years of trauma. Nobody wants to go through heartbreak after heartbreak after
And we
heartbreak
do it
after
so
heartbreak.
early though too.
And we do, and it happens early, but I'm very like, okay, to me, one person is so ideal and perfect, because you're learning and growing together. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna change over time. Okay, so like in the podcast, you and Huff last week,
Right.
we're talking about, you were saying how you don't want to be taught anything, sexually.
Yeah,
That,
yeah,
you feel me? That I think is one of the most important things in a relationship, because we have to teach each other. You know, I think
But
like
in the
my sister
bedroom,
takes a
though?
class. Yeah, my sister takes a class, and one of the things that they talked about was it's heavily important for two partners to sit down and talk about the things that they like and dislike in the bedroom.
Yeah.
You have to talk about those things, because if you're doing something that I don't like and I'm just not saying anything, you're gonna assume that I like it, and I don't like that shit. But if I don't say anything, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. And vice versa, if I'm not doing something that you may potentially like, but I don't know because you're not telling me, how the hell am I gonna know to do it? You know, so it's like things like that. You have to, and
Oh no,
there's so
sis.
many different things to learn together with each other in the bedroom. You have to be experimental with your partner in the bedroom, and I'd rather be experimental with one person than multiple. You
Absolutely.
can experiment so many, and then that takes me to every other aspect of the relationships. We can experiment and learn each other, learn what we like to do, you feel me, learn what type of movies each other like. So it's like, you know, I look at my mom and my dad's relationship because it's the only really relationship that I can take from, right? It's my parents' relationship, is what I grew up with. That's who I can take from. My mom and dad are yin and yang, like just so polar opposite. Like the movies that my mom like my dad is a movie guru. He can watch almost any movie. My mom is not like that. My mom only likes gangster movies. She wants the shooting and she wants something that relates to her life. My mom is a gangster. For any of y'all who knows my mom is a pure gangster. You feel me? As much as she be trying to deny it, it's who she is. So she watches movies that relate to who she is. It can only be relatable to her. She can't watch like the sci-fi. She don't do the superhero movies. Nothing really like that. You know, she can't do Harry Potter. But my dad watches all those type of movies. They're different. But when you learn with each other, you learn what each other like. They didn't know that
I
stuff about
feel
each other
you.
until they already had kids. They already have kids and they're learning things about each other that you should know. What I feel like before you even have kids. What kind
No,
of
no
food do you like?
doubt.
How do you like your food? When I cook for people, I like to cook according to their taste buds. So you need to know
Mm,
how you need to know what they like. Like my mom, she has high blood pressure. So when I cook for my mom, I don't cook with a lot of salt.
sorry,
Or
right.
you feel me? I have to cut back on the amount of seasoning that I use. So it's just learning. It's learning people. When you're with a spouse or a partner or somebody, if you're not interested, Life Jennings says it's like going to college. You have to study your partner every day because something about them is changing every day. And that's on the male
And you
and
just
female
feel like
spectrum.
and you just feel like you should be doing that after 25?
Yeah, I mean, you can start before 25. Me personally, I don't care to learn anybody else. I'm not interested in learning anybody else right now. I'm only interested
Okay.
in learning about myself because I don't fully know myself 100%. And I don't want to say I'm gonna know myself 100% when I get married, but I at least want to be 75% of the way there. So some things I can
Feel
stand
you.
strong in. And I can say, nah, I'm not cool with that. And there has to be things that you about yourself that you absolutely will not compromise because it's going to
Right.
compromise your morality and your integrity. But when you're still learning yourself, you're not sure what those things are.
I feel you.
So
And,
somebody is going to be somebody that you are attracted to and that you like and can easily influence you to compromise yourself. And I don't believe anybody should have to compromise themselves, their beliefs, or their morality.
I feel you. I don't know. I definitely feel like a partner and the right partner, you feel me, could definitely help you get through some of them understandings about yourself, you feel me? Like me being an introvert, like I want somebody who's about to bring that extrovert out of me, you feel me, wanting to go do stuff, wanting to do this, that, and the third. But just to kind of center it around our topic, that's what I feel like fears people the most. You feel me? That vulnerability and the obligation that we spoke about earlier, that's what really scares our culture, especially growing up not seeing that. Like man, like I was fortunate enough to have my father and my mother, but outside of that, like I'm basically like you. Like I can't really think of
Can
anything
you count on
functional.
one hand? Can we name 5 healthy Black couples? I
I
can't.
can't.
I
Not
can't.
even, and it's hard to even name the celebrities because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Period. We don't know what's going on, and you know, some of them you might be able to see, but you know, like Boris. I can't think of his last
Me
name.
neither. I know exactly what you're talking about,
And
though.
maybe Parker, Nicole Aria Parker. I don't know if that's her married last name or her maiden last name, but like they have, and they even talk about they like they're very open about their relationship and they're very loving in their relationship. They talk about the things you know, like the trials and tribulations that they've gone through as a Black couple, and you know, the things that helps them stay together. And I admire them as a Black, you know, celebrity couple, but it's not many of them. And you know, like Jada and Will never
I
looked up
thought
to
they
them because
was.
they've all never looked up to them. One, because I am one of the few people who know that Will cheated on Jada many years ago with the Mexican lady. And also they're just weird to me as individuals, as couples, and it shows through their kids. So
Yeah.
they're just weird to me. But yes, as Mr. James says, he says, I believe it's important to date. Understanding who you are is first and foremost, but understanding what you like and what you need is important to being a good fit for your future partner.
Absolutely, I could definitely get behind that. And you feel me? That's why I'm saying like instead of choosing to go through traumas, unless you're like chilling till you're 25 or whatever, and literally just like focusing on yourself, your bag, you're not necessarily celibate, but like you're just not doing any of that goofy stuff. And,
Right.
you're in that mindset, then I can understand that completely. But like if you're just still having sex and going from party to party and all of that stuff, like it just kind of make me like raise an eyebrow. Like why choose to go through all that trauma, bodies, and all of that stuff that truly do matter. I ain't gonna say it don't. But like
It's
why
crazy
choose to
because
go
it
through
do
that?
matter. You know, it do matter. And I think with our
Absolutely.
generation, it doesn't matter as much as it should because of how comfortable our generation has become with being mediocre in relationships. Our generation is very comfortable with being mediocre in relationships. Like there's no over the top or
And almost
any of that.
everything
Like you
mediocre
know,
in
one thing for
everything.
me, huh?
I said mediocre in almost everything.
In almost
Not even
everything,
just
you know, and it kills
relationships.
me, you know, like the polygamy relationships is like I would never. Because I'm possessive, and I'm selfish when it comes to my man, and I expect him to be the exact same way. I need you to be possessive and selfish over me. That's how it should be. You should be possessive over each other, like, and it should be that I
Yeah.
just know for me, it's just a no.
Definitely, and it's especially like on what I spoke on earlier, like this loyalty at its highest point, which is marriage, and then them stepping outside of that marriage is definitely what a lot of I'm not gonna say a lot. I'll just speak for myself. Is what I fear the most when I think about marriage, because it's like what do you even do? Like I just said my vows to you, put
You
over
kill it.
1,000 on your ring or on your finger,
Yeah,
this,
you
that,
kill it.
and I'm balancing my life with you, and then you cheat. Like I don't know how I would deal with that. But we got
Murder.
James Douglas. I heard a woman say a woman should get a PhD in your man. Absolutely, that's what G was talking about. I believe that's a two-way street. Definitely.
And it is.
And that's why I'm saying if you're in your 20s going from partner to partner to partner, like that's what's gonna mess up your trauma, and that's why you get so. And we did this real early, like especially in our culture. Like you talk to the average person, they already had their heart broken 2 or 3 times, and constantly go around talking about, G's a heartbreaker. She'll admit it. Go ahead, raise your hand, G. And then it just leads to this common thread of niggas ain't this, bitches even worse type stuff. And that's not the way to live. And a lot of people want a relationship, but they'd rather stick with the trend and the thread than choose to be solid. And that's, man, toxicity is so desirable in this culture. It's crazy.
It's scary.
Yeah, honestly. And that's why even at the marriage level, like, I don't think it's going to end, man. But let's see. It's not even mediocrity. That's it,
Mediocrity.
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. In just relationships, at what age does the acceptance of mediocrity set in?
And that's a deep one, because like, what age does it set in? For our generation, I feel like it started mediocre. It started mediocre, because we're not even taught the etiquette of dating. And I think it needs to be taught. It absolutely needs to be taught, etiquette of dating, and on both the male and the woman spectrum, because I'm that female, I don't know. Okay. So, where they say, if she don't reach over and open your door for you, you feel me? What are you doing with her? That's real, because women, how are you going to expect a man to open the door for you, but you can't reach your ass over inside the door and pop the thing open for him? It's simple, it's easy, but we're not taught that etiquette. We're not taught. I know females in our generation who don't even know that to be a thing. It's like, wait, what am I supposed to do? You're supposed to, once you get in the car from the door that he just opened for you, you reach over and you pop his door open for him so he could just come and get in the car. We're not even taught that. Like, people don't even know to do that. And our grandparents, our great grandparents, they knew. It's just what you do.
Yeah,
it's just what you do.
I'll add one to that, but even like walking down the street, like I was always taught you walk on the outside of the street when you're walking with a woman. And you know how many times like I've moved the shorty over to the inside of me and they'd be like, "What are you doing?" And I'd be like, what you mean? Like, even if I wasn't dating him,
I will purposely walk myself on the outside of a dude when I'm walking with him to see what he does. And if he don't push my little ass over to the inside of the street, I'm gonna leave him where he's at. I'm gonna leave him where he's at. I purposely do that one, because that's huge to me. If a car comes, it's supposed to hit you first, not me. Women and children walk on the inside of the street.
Hey, that's just what it's how I was raised.
And it's also, if we're walking and it's raining and there's a little bit of rain in the gutter and a car splashes it, that rain is supposed to hit you, not me. I'm the cute one. The hell, but it's just, there's a lot of mannerisms. And I think, in today's time, we talk about the mannerism that the men are supposed to have when courting a woman and, trying to, get with a lady. But we don't really talk about the reciprocated mannerisms that a woman is supposed to show towards a man. And you feel me? Like the dating stages, it has to go both ways. Like a man should not just be attracted to you because of what you look like. You have to offer something. You have to offer something. So it's just a lot of things. And I think that's something that just needs to be taught back in the community, is teaching dating etiquette. Dating etiquette. And I think that starts at home. Mommy and son dates.
Households.
Mommy and son dates. Daddy-daughter dates. You feel me? Like those are important. Moms need to take their sons out on dates. Dads need to take their daughters out on dates. And then have your children give the opportunity to take you out on a date. Teach your son from a mother's point of view how to take a woman out on a date. Let him take you on a date. Daughters, dads, let your daughters. Women need to learn how to take men on dates. It's something that's not even freaking taught. Women need to learn how to take men on dates.
Bruh, let me just say this. Hold on, because you brought up a very valid point. I took this girl out not too long ago, and like when I tell you, like, she bald faced, like looked me in my face and then said like she didn't bring, like, we had no previous like conversations of who's about to pay for what, this, that, and the third. She just kind of like assumed I was gonna pay for it, and this is like, I'm just like, I mean, luckily I came prepared to pay for everything. But you're not going to at least show your side to at least be able to pay for your stuff. Like, this is the first. Like, I'm confused. Like, man, this is.
That's a problem.
I'm
I
saying, but it's
always
tough.
make sure I have my wallet, especially you feel me. When going on a date with a dude, especially if we're going out to eat, right? Because
Man,
I do expect you to pay. It's my expectation. But I
as you
always pay my
should.
wallet. But me, how I am, I expect you to pay, and I'm gonna cover the tip. I don't expect you to do both, but I've gone on dates with dudes where, it's like, nah, I got the tip too. Like, well, shit, I'll go ahead and put my couple dollars back in my purse. That's all. I just go ahead. Cool. You said you got it. You got it. I'm not gonna, and I don't rebuttal. If I say I got it and you tell me no, I don't got it, and you got it, then yeah, you got it. You got it. Because I'm not gonna rebuttal. I'm not. But I believe in women taking men on dates.
At least once every 3.
I believe, or something, I don't believe that a man has to pay every single time. I don't. It doesn't. It kills me with that. And if a dude is paying all the time, tipping for something, I don't know. Like the tip to me, that's important. Like, let me get the tip. You just pay for dinner. You feel me? I always splurge when I go on dates. It's never in a ticket below $50, 100 most of the time. So
Man, I
I
like
get the
to
tip.
eat good and
Yeah,
do stuff.
yeah, you feel me? I'll go ahead and get the tip. If we go somewhere where, you feel me, there's a parking meter or something, you feel me? I'll pay the park. I got it. I'm gonna go ahead and pay the park. I got it. You feel me? Or any of that. Make it. But I never expect for, especially when we're just getting to know each other. Because my end game, if I do get married, my end game is to be taken care of. I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Because I'll do my businesses from home, but I want to be a full-time mother. If I become a mom, I want to be a full-time mom. I want to be able to attend to my children 100%. And if I can't have a man who has a problem with that. If you don't want me to be a full-time mom, we're not going to work, because that's my goal if I become a mother.
Females do not think like you though. You feel me? They wanna throw in to the plate and add to the dollar, throw in the 2 cents, and like it's really just go back to the independence aspect that we spoke of earlier. That stems from the single parent household. You feel me? The mother gonna teach her daughter how to be independent because that's what she knows best, type stuff.
Yep.
But let me get into some of these comments before we end off. So it's different for you guys. You grew up with the screen in your face, absolutely. Swipe right or left. You're a stud, studette. When you guys hung out, you had phones in your hands. That's another thing, man. I hate dating a girl and she constantly on her phone. I'll be like, what are you even here for? Like,
I'm ready to spill off on a dude. What are you doing?
Man, but I didn't get a phone till I was 18, and my parents didn't have one till they were down there 50. I feel that you guys are tech babies, and standard dating has never been set. Definitely.
Man, that hold on, let's touch that real quick. That's real. That's real, James. Cause like, I hate when I'm gonna do it and then he's on his phone.
Really? Is that common for you? I feel like it's more common for the female. I can't lie.
See, and it is common. It is common for me. Like I hate when the dude's on his phone. Like, your conversation is supposed to be right here. Your focus is right here, especially if I'm giving you my focus too, because I could be doing the same thing. So I'm trying to show you that I'm prioritizing you right now by even being in the same space as you. For you to be disrespecting me by being on your phone the whole time, I want to break a bottle up against your head, because what are you doing? What are you doing? And phones really have created huge problems. Just in general, I can't think of what comedian I heard say this. Maybe I think it was Chris Rock. But he was saying how, phones don't even give people the opportunity to miss each other anymore. Like, my wife could call me right now and say, babe, I miss you. What are you doing? Instead of waiting for me to get home because we don't have a phone to talk. So then she got to wait till I get home for me to tell her about my day. Now we're telling each other about our days before we even see each other. So when we do see each other, what is there to talk about? I already talked about my day. I already called you earlier today and told you what happened during the day. So now we don't really have anything to catch up on. And so yeah, phone screens really have they're a problem. They're a problem, and I think I don't even know how that can be fixed because I rolled by a school bus the other day, and I was saying how like this generation sucks. Like we used to ride the school bus on our way home from school lit. We used to be lit in the back of the school bus, like having so much fun. The other day, I watched all the kids were on the school bus like this. I was like, wow. And I mean, like, all of them, I was, like, trying to peek as hard as I could through the window. And I'm like, damn. All these kids, you're not even talking to one another. Y'all are all on your phone. Like, we used to be lit. And his phones really have created a problem for our
It's only
generation.
getting worse. It's real impersonal.
It's real impersonal. It's real impersonal.
But all right, 1 out of every 3. I'm assuming this is directed towards me, guys. So where does that expectation or standard come from? Dating etiquette, if you want to be specific. Back in the day, the man pays for everything. So why 1 out of 3 now? Okay. I feel you. And I feel like mostly just for me, like in today's society, you know, looking like a simp is very prevalent in our community. And I'm really just not the type to dude to get pushed over as far as the dating aspect goes. So like if we're dating and we're trying to like take it to that next level, yeah, you feel me? Like you have to show some interest. And I don't date broke females, so I know you got it. I'm not, and more importantly, I'm not necessarily looking for a wife right now. So as soon as I start getting in the position where I want to provide for somebody, then absolutely I'm gonna pay for everything. But I feel like just right now I'm in a state where I'm dating. So I want you to show your interest in me as well and do the bread.
I respect that, Marco, because as a woman, you know, when I go on dates with dude, I don't want a dude to think that I'm with him for his pockets. You feel me? Like and you know, I make it prevalent and known. Like most dudes, you know by the time I even agree to a date that I fiend for myself and I take care of me. So but I kind of like that 1 out of 3 because it gives me you feel like a set number. But when I pay or offer to pay, and it's crazy because I've had this conversation with a few dudes, and I've had different feedback from it. So when I offer to pay, it's because I'm trying to show a dude, you feel me, that I got us too. Like you done already showed me that you got us. You feel me? So you done made that known to me that you got us. You feel me? But I need you just to know I got us too. So if there's ever a time where you're lacking, I got it. Don't even trip. You feel me? And I've had dudes tell me, like I had a dude ask me one time, what did he say? He was like, he was like, you trying to offend me? I was like, what?
Yeah,
he was like, why are you offering to pay? I was
like I'm broke or something.
I was so stuck. I was like, well, because like you paid like the last 10 dates. I figured I just thought I'd take one. I just thought I would take one. He might have I ever asked you to pay before? You didn't ask this time. I was just so I've had dudes where it's like it's super offensive to even offer to pay. So and that's why I say I offer, because sometimes I don't even get the opportunity to pay because I didn't offended a nigga. And now it's like, okay, go ahead and pay. I didn't mean to offend you. I was just trying to balance us out. a little bit, because we're not in a relationship. We're just dating on a couple of days. So I just wanted you to not think that I just, you feel me, I'm trying to get free meals all the time. But go ahead and pay.
Looking like a simp.
Yeah,
I feel that 100%.
I do get that. It's weird. As a female, it's weird, and it sometimes I get put in awkward positions because I will offer to pay, and I didn't have dudes low key kind of cuss me out. Like, what the fuck are you offering to pay for? What are you offering to pay for? And then I done had some dudes where it's like, oh, okay, cool, she got it. And those are the dudes I don't like. Those are the dudes that it never works out for me because it's like, you just gonna let me pay? I know I offered, but you just gonna let me? I got it. Don't trip. I'm gonna go ahead and pay.
I mean, that's why I stick with that 1 and 3, especially like if I don't really have the intentions on taking it. You feel me? I don't know. To me, it just it just shows me that you're interested because any girl can sit there, have a couple conversations, and eat a free meal.
Get some free food. You feel me?
Yeah.
All females love to eat. So
exactly. So if they showing that interest,
and I had a dude tell me before too that he thought, you feel me, I was just going out with him for his weed and free food. I told him, I said, you could drop me off right here because first of all, I got my own smoke, and second of all, I could pay for myself.
Exactly.
So don't offend me, and that's why, because I don't want to be offended. I don't want to do thinking that I'm only with him because he's providing, because he's providing. I can provide for myself. Everything that you do for me, I can provide for myself, and I've had to explain that to dudes before too. Like I walked out on a dude at a restaurant before. I straight told him just like this. I said, this meal that you're paying for, I could pay for. The blunt of yours that we just smoked, I'm gonna go roll my own and smoke. That drink you just paid for, I can buy myself.
Right.
Like and all of these things, I can make my own self come. So like so.
Why did that just go from here to here?
Because they're equal. Because they're equal. I can do all of those things for myself. So I don't want you to think that I'm with you for what you can do for me.
Understood.
You feel me?
And so I guess that kind of bring out the 1 to 3, like really just show me that you're interested besides my bread.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that, 1 out of 3. I like that number. You feel me? And I think that might be a conversation when dating somebody we might need to have. Mm-hmm. Because I think my number would be 1 out of 5, like a 20%er. But it's a conversation that needs to be had. I think so. I don't know. That's a deep one. We're gonna bring this back, y'all. We're gonna bring this back.
But just to close out, because we did kind of run over. So Drake said, I know a girl who's happily married till she put the phone down. That, man, Drake
that's scary. That's what's scary.
Been through a lot,
back to just what's scary about marriage. That's what's scary. That's what's scary. Like, how do you know when someone's happily married? Like, if I get married, I want it to just show on my face that I'm happily married. I wanted to show on my husband's face that I'm happily married. When we have kids, I wanted to show on through my kids' behaviors and on their faces that their parents are happily married. And oftentimes you just don't know. Absolutely. You just don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Absolutely. And then James, and it is not offensive to offer. I agree completely. Now, I actually want you to offer so I can deny you. You feel me? That just let me know.
That's why I offer. I offer to get denied. Now, if I don't get denied, okay, I'll go ahead and take this. I'm going to go ahead and take this. But now I see where we at with each other. And okay, all right, player.
Exactly. But with that being said, we ask all our viewers to please subscribe and follow all of our social media platforms. We got Make a Chess Move, Make a Culture Move, Virtual Artist Storytelling, YouTube at Make a Chess Move -MACM, our website at www.makeachessmove.org, Facebook MACM303, Instagram MACM303, Twitter MACM303, and Pinterest MACM303. That's a tongue twister, y'all. Y'all wouldn't believe it.
Man.
Almost like it's over. But please check out our MACM virtual artist storytelling if you have kids, cousins, niece, nephews, whatever the case may be. We have our virtual workshop coming up where we basically teach chess, financial literacy, and combating the culture. And there is a little secret in there, but you might just have to wait to find out. Yeah, hopefully you heard that. If you didn't, you didn't. But hey, with that being said, y'all MACM out there. Make sure to cop some MACM apparel. We got lovely hats all the days. One more come. Oh, what are the dates? The 29th through the 2nd.
Yeah, March 29th through April 2nd. We got 2 sessions. We have our 8 to 13-year-old group. That's going to be from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And we have our 14 to 26-year-old group. That's going to be from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So y'all make sure y'all tap in, invite everybody. We got 32 spots available.
16 and 16.
16 and 16. So y'all tap in with us, y'all.
Absolutely. But yes, with that being said, y'all MACM out there. The information will be on our pages, just so y'all know if y'all need any more clarification. But with that being said, y'all MACM out there.